They called it the pinnacle of craftsmanship, the Birkin, the Kelly, the crown jewels of luxury. But what if everything we thought we knew about Hermes was a carefully constructed illusion? In 2025, that illusion is falling apart. Diet Prada, the fashion industry's most feared watchdog, has teamed up with Chinese manufacturers in a stunning exposé that's setting the internet on fire. Their mission? To prove that the brand known for French artisanship has allegedly been outsourcing its iconic bags to factories in China. And they didn't come empty-handed. Leaked documents, shipping manifests, viral factory footage. This isn't just a brand embarrassment, it's a cultural earthquake. One that threatens to unravel the very foundation of luxury as we know it. It started as a whisper in the fashion industry, an anonymous Instagram account quietly calling out designers for copying each other. But that whisper became a roar. Diet Prada, founded by Tony Liu and Lindsay Schuyler, went from meme-style call-outs to full-blown accountability journalism. They didn't just expose design theft, they tore the mask off racism in ad campaigns, spotlighted culturally insensitive fashion shows, and forced powerful brands to apologize in real time. Their posts weren't just viral, they created ripple effects across an industry built on silence. In a world where image is everything, Diet Prada made being called out publicly a PR nightmare. Over time, the platform evolved into something much bigger. They became the moral watchdog of fashion, gaining over 3 million followers and a reputation for fearless truth-telling. When Diet Prada posted, people paid attention, from Vogue editors to brand CEOs. They called out Dolce & Gabbana's anti-Asian marketing, shined a light on exploitation during Fashion Week, and even took on the Met Gala's hypocrisies. But with their latest exposé, Diet Prada crossed a new threshold, from watchdogs to whistleblower allies. Their latest target isn't just a problematic ad or a stolen design, it's Hermès, a fashion house so exclusive, most people never even see their products in stores. Now, the stakes are higher than ever. Backed by Chinese manufacturers willing to risk legal retaliation, Diet Prada is exposing what may be one of luxury fashion's biggest deceptions: the alleged outsourcing of Birkin and Kelly bags to high-volume Chinese factories. And this isn't speculation. They're armed with leaked receipts, shipping documents, and insider video footage. Diet Prada's transformation from snarky commentators to credible industry disruptors isn't just impressive, it's terrifying for the brands hiding behind carefully crafted images. And this time, their crosshairs are fixed on a brand that built its empire on secrecy, scarcity, and an illusion of perfection. What if the $30,000 Birkin bag, long praised as the crown jewel of French luxury, didn't start in a pristine Parisian atelier, but in a bustling factory in Shenzhen, China? That's the explosive claim now shaking the fashion world, thanks to a bold collaboration between Diet Prada and whistleblowing Chinese manufacturers. This isn't just rumor, it's receipts. We're talking leaked shipping logs, official production timelines, and internal emails that suggest Hermes has been outsourcing the bulk of its iconic bag production overseas. According to the documents, these bags are mass-produced in Chinese facilities before being quietly sent to France, where a few cosmetic adjustments, a strap sewn on, a logo pressed, are made just in time to slap on that prestigious Made in France label. Diet Prada didn't hold back. They posted video walkthroughs from inside the factories, revealing production lines of workers stitching exotic leathers and using machines to stamp out Hermes logos, footage that directly contradicts the brand's carefully cultivated image of handcrafted French excellence. One clip even shows the intricate handles being machine cut and assembled in bulk, completely undermining the idea of one artisan painstakingly crafting each bag from start to finish. Critics are calling it luxury brand washing, a strategic move to uphold the illusion of French exclusivity while quietly exploiting low-cost labor abroad. And for a brand that prides itself on craftsmanship and authenticity, this revelation is nothing short of a reputational crisis. What makes this even more damning is that Hermes has long positioned its bags as slow fashion, each piece the result of years of training and meticulous effort. But the evidence now suggests a different story, one of efficiency, volume, and secrecy. It's not just a question of where the bags are made, it's about trust. Consumers aren't just buying leather, they're buying a legacy, a myth. And with every leaked invoice and every second of factory footage, that myth is unraveling. The question now isn't whether Hermes outsourced, it's whether the brand ever deserved the prestige it so fiercely protected. Luxury isn't just built in factories, it's built on influence. And according to newly leaked internal documents, Hermes allegedly weaponized celebrity culture to bury the truth. This expose isn't only about where the bags were made, it's about how the brand may have silenced critics with glam. At the center of it all is something called the visibility grid, an internal marketing strategy reportedly uncovered by Diet Prada. This grid didn't just promote products, it orchestrated a PR smokescreen. When rumors about outsourcing started gaining traction, boom, Kim Kardashian would post a rare crocodile Birkin. When protests at alleged Chinese facilities surfaced online, Beyoncé just happened to drop a luxe behind-the-scenes look at her bag closet. Coincidence? According to the documents, not even close. These visibility waves weren't random influencer moments. They were carefully timed crisis responses. Diet Prada's sources claim Hermes paid six-figure sums to deploy celebrities as brand armor, glossy distractions used to redirect public attention at precisely the right time. And these weren't soft collaborations. They were calculated moves, reportedly documented in internal timelines, press schedules, and marketing emails. Some timelines were even labeled by initials, KK, BK, RF, believed to stand for Kim Kardashian, Beyoncé Knowles, and Rihanna Fenty. The goal? Flood social media with aspirational luxury right when suspicion was about to hit its peak. Distract, dazzle, and deny, all in one polished post. This revelation strikes at the heart of what makes luxury feel untouchable. Fans and consumers believed these celebrities genuinely loved the products they showcased. But now, with the grid exposed, people are asking, was it ever authentic? Were those viral closet tours and red carpet Birkins simply part of a pre-planned response campaign to deflect scandal? If so, then the illusion runs deeper than anyone realized. Because when billion-dollar brands use billion-dollar faces to cover their tracks, it's not just deceptive, it's manipulative. And for millions of fans who once saw those posts as aspirational moments, it now feels like betrayal dressed up in couture. The fallout was immediate and brutal. As soon as Diet Prada's expose began gaining traction, the influencer world went into panic mode. The same creators who once proudly flaunted their Hermes collections are now quietly scrubbing their feeds. Birkin unboxings disappeared overnight. Highlight reels were archived. Comment sections were shut down. It's a dramatic reversal for influencers who built entire personal brands around luxury aesthetics. And now, many are being accused of knowingly participating in a cover-up. In 2025, when transparency is everything, digital silence isn't just suspicious, it's incriminating. Some tried to get ahead of the storm. A few influencers issued statements claiming they had no idea about the alleged outsourcing, insisting their posts were based purely on admiration for the brand. But not all stayed quiet. One creator came forward with a startling confession. She'd been offered an affiliate code from Hermes, just as labor protests broke out at one of the brand's rumored Chinese facilities. Another leaked a private DM allegedly sent from a PR representative asking her to post her favorite Birkin memory, timed perfectly to distract from viral factory footage. That message was quickly screenshotted, uploaded, and added to a growing Reddit megathread now infamously titled The Birkin Briefs. And for influencers in 2025, this kind of exposure can be career-ending. Being labeled a sellout is damaging enough, but being accused of helping a multi-billion-dollar brand deceive the public? That's a reputation killer. Followers are demanding receipts. Watchdog accounts are dissecting timelines, matching sponsored posts to scandal cycles. And former fans are turning into vocal critics, calling out what they now see as complicit behavior. For creators who once turned luxury partnerships into gold mines, the line between brand deal and brand betrayal has never been more blurred. And in an era where credibility is currency, some are finding out too late that no paycheck is worth losing the trust of your audience. The moment Diet Prada hit post, the internet exploded. Within hours, TikTok was flooded with creators dissecting every second of the factory walkthroughs, comparing them side by side with Hermes promotional clips, and asking the question no one could ignore. Have we all been lied to? Fashion creators stitched the footage, zooming in on machines stamping logos, replaying interviews with whistleblowers, and calling out influencers who had once paraded their Birkin collections with pride. The hashtags Rear Hermes exposed and Rear Birkingate didn't just trend, they dominated. Fashion Twitter went into overdrive and Reddit turned into a forensic lab, with users cross-referencing celebrity posts, press cycles, and shipping dates like digital investigators. It wasn't just commentary, it was a takedown. Entire TikTok channels were born overnight, solely dedicated to decoding the scandal. Instagram watchdog accounts gained tens of thousands of followers in days. Even resale platforms, once a haven for Hermes devotees, started to feel the shift. Sites like The Real and Fashion File reportedly saw a noticeable dip in traffic for Birkin listings. One anonymous insider even told Diet Prada, "Buyers are hesitating. The aura is broken." Because that's what Hermes was truly selling. An aura. A mystique. A story of timeless luxury hand-stitched in Paris ateliers. And now, that story is being rewritten in real time, frame by frame, by a generation of consumers who refuse to look away. What's most striking isn't just the backlash, it's the speed. In a digital world where scandals can break overnight and trends shift by the hour, Hermes is experiencing what no luxury brand ever wants to face, a real-time collapse of trust. And this isn't about one viral video, it's about a collective awakening. Consumers aren't just watching, they're participating. They're demanding answers. They're rejecting the curated fantasy in favor of hard evidence. And as millions view, share, and analyze the receipts, one thing is clear. Once the veil is lifted, it's almost impossible to put back. Hermes didn't just lose control of the narrative. They may have lost the very belief that made their bags worth the price in the first place. The Hermes scandal isn't just an online drama. It's rapidly becoming a global legal powder keg. As Diet Prada's leaked documents continue to circulate, legal experts across continents are beginning to weigh in. If the allegations are true, if Hermes knowingly passed off mass-produced bags as made in France when the majority of labor happened in China, they may be staring down charges of false advertising, consumer fraud, and labeling violations. This isn't just a PR crisis, it's a regulatory nightmare in the making. The Federal Trade Commission, FTC, in the US, enforces strict guidelines about country of origin labels, and deliberately misleading consumers about manufacturing locations can lead to millions in fines and even civil litigation. But the pressure isn't limited to the US. In the European Union, luxury labeling is taken just as seriously, if not more. EU regulators could soon launch formal audits of Hermes's supply chains, demanding proof of where their iconic bags are truly produced. Meanwhile, in Asia, where brands like Hermes command deep loyalty and sky-high prices, there's already talk of legal action. Reports suggest that law firms in Seoul and Hong Kong are quietly gathering interest for potential class action lawsuits. These aren't just small consumer complaints. They're billion-dollar markets where authenticity isn't just a luxury, it's a promise. And if that promise was broken, the financial and reputational damage could be staggering. What's most alarming is the sheer scale of what's at risk. Hermes is no ordinary brand. It's a cornerstone of the luxury industry. And now, with credible evidence of deceptive practices surfacing, the ripple effect could extend far beyond handbags. If courts or regulators confirm that the Made in France label was applied through legal loopholes or deliberate misdirection, Hermes could face penalties in multiple jurisdictions. Worse yet, other luxury houses that engage in similar practices could be next. This isn't just a brand under fire. It's the beginning of what may become the fashion industry's largest legal reckoning to date. If Hermes can fall, who's safe? That's the question rattling through every corner office in the luxury world right now. Behind closed doors, brands like LVMH, Chanel, and Kering are scrambling, not just to do damage control, but to preempt it. Insiders report internal teams have been urgently reviewing supply chain records, tightening NDAs, and revisiting influencer contracts with fresh anxiety. The mood is less about confidence and more about containment, Because if the Hermes expose taught the industry anything, it's that one rogue document, one whistleblower, or one viral TikTok can crack even the most carefully crafted illusion wide open. What's fueling the panic is the realization that Hermes wasn't supposed to be touchable. For decades, it was the brand every other fashion house aspired to emulate. Ultra-selective, scandal-proof, and untouchably elite. If they were allegedly using low-cost overseas manufacturing and distracting the public with celebrity gloss, what does that say about everyone else? Consumers are starting to connect the dots, and watchdog accounts are already setting their sights on other brands. Dior's artisan campaigns, under review. Chanel's pricing model, scrutinized. Suddenly, the entire foundation of luxury, scarcity, craftsmanship, exclusivity, feels like it's being rewritten in real time. And perhaps most dangerous of all for the industry? Consumers have changed. The new generation of buyers isn't dazzled by buzzwords like heritage or timeless. They want proof, receipts, transparency. They're digging deeper, asking harder questions, and they're no longer satisfied with vague PR statements or staged factory tours. For luxury brands, this is a turning point. It's no longer enough to appear authentic. In 2025, authenticity has to be earned and proven. Because now, every logo, every price tag, and every influencer post could be the match that lights the next scandal. And this time, the fire might not stop with Hermes. Luxury fashion has reached a crossroads. For decades, prestige was maintained through secrecy, closed doors, curated illusions, and a myth of exclusivity that couldn't be questioned. But that era is over. The internet has cracked it open. Now, Hermes and its competitors face a brutal choice. Double down on the old ways and risk collapse, or embrace radical transparency and rebuild from the ashes. Imagine a world where brands actually showed us the truth, where Hermes published a real-time supply chain dashboard, or where Dior publicly disclosed how much it cost to make each bag, and where. Not a PR stunt, not a glossy campaign, the real story. That kind of honesty could shake the entire luxury industry, but it's also the only thing that might save it. The sad reality? Most of these brands won't take that road. The luxury industry has never been built on facts, it's been built on fantasy. And breaking that illusion feels like a risk they're too afraid to take. Instead, many will likely retreat behind legal teams, crisis PR firms, and vague sustainability statements that say everything and nothing at the same time. We've seen this playbook before. Release a carefully worded PDF, deny wrongdoing, distract with a celebrity campaign, and wait for the internet to move on. But 2025 isn't like years past. TikTok creators are pulling apart marketing claims line by line. Reddit threads are turning press releases into punchlines. The audience isn't distracted, it's dialed in, and they're not letting go. What happens next won't just determine the future of Hermes, it could redefine luxury itself. If brands can't back up their price tags with real proof of labor, of sourcing, of value, then what are we actually paying for? Because now that the curtain has been pulled back, the fantasy isn't enough. Luxury doesn't mean secrecy anymore. It means accountability. And unless these brands evolve with the new expectations of this digital-savvy, truth-hungry generation, they won't just lose prestige, they'll lose relevance. The next move is theirs, but the world is watching. Hermes wanted silence. Instead, they got screenshots. They wanted loyalty. Instead, they got a digital revolt. Diet Prada didn't just break a story, they blew open the vault. And now the myth of handcrafted in France has lost its magic. As factory workers speak out, influencers defect, and watchdogs double down, the luxury world is being dragged into the light. In 2025, expensive isn't enough. Now luxury means accountability. And the brands that refuse to show their receipts, they might soon find themselves not just exposed, but extinct.